I wanted to bring to your attention something that I think I've mentioned before, which is, for instance, here's a deck of cards that Elaine made when she was working with a hearing impaired child. And we know that children who have hearing impairments often have low vocabulary, but children can have low vocabulary for other reasons. And one of the things that you can do is to create a set of Go Fish cards where one of the cards has a picture on the card, so that the child has a picture clue of what wham is. So when they're reading wham, it's not just a nonsense word for them, but that they have an understanding of what that word is. Math, whine, whip. So where can you get all these delicious pictures? You can find them in the Explode the Code. Oh, I thought my book was right here. Shysters. Mandy, can you go find a picture of Explode the Code online? Oh, wait, I found one. Oh, I found one. Oh, I have a whole stack over here. So Explode the Code is a workbook series that's been around forever that follows a phonetic sequence that's very similar. It's not 100% in line with what it is that we're doing with brain-friendly reading, but it is a phonics sequence that's completely valid. And it's similar enough that you'll be able to use these pages with children, particularly if you're tutoring, but you might also consider using some of these with children in a small group setting. If you have the ability to be able to purchase the books, you can get them for as low as $6.95 a book. So different schools have different budgets. I completely understand that, or maybe you can make copies. But in the Explode the Code book, there are pictures that you can use that go with sentences or go with individual words. So this is a place where you can find some clip art that you can use when you're creating work for children to expand their vocabulary by using pictures. Another activity that you can do with really beginning readers, and this is true for you, Mr. Higgins, is to take the picture and have the picture on one card and then the word on another card, so that the child is just matching what picture goes with what word. Can we match just the picture with the word? Can we match the word bag with the picture bag? That's what this workbook page is asking the children to do. Here's the word pan. Can you find what picture goes with pan? This is very appropriate for very young children or children who are English language learners or children who have very low vocabulary for one reason or another. But instead of having this workbook page, you can have the picture on a card and you can have the word on a card, and the child does a picture word match, right? How many people have done picture word matches with children before or seen that done? People have. And then the other thing that is great, and then we're working on creating this to be 100% in alignment with the Brain Friendly Reading Program. And we have an artist who's working on creating pictures now. But until that's done, another thing that you can do too is to do a sentence picture match, so that the sentences that go with the pictures are laid out. And you have a picture and you have, I have it right here, one that I did before, where I took the pictures and I put them, see, same pictures, Explode the Code. I took the pictures and I put them on the cards, and I just took the sentences from the book, copied them, cut them out, put them on a card, and you decide how many pictures and how many sentences you want to give to the child, and they read their sentence and they match it with the picture. Well, that's not it. Nate sat at bat. That would be that one. Nat sat at bat. And then the child matches the picture that goes with the card. Why do we do this level of work? It's just like what Liz was talking about in terms of the comprehension at the 2-word level. This provides for comprehension at a multi-word level, but with sentences that are fully decodable. so that the child can go, this makes meaning. Here is a picture that illustrates that meaning. I will also use ones that are ones that children can act out. I will say, can you pretend to be Nat? What would you do? Nat sat at bat. What would that look like? And then the child gets to do a little dramatic interpretive reading here. That's what we call it in Montessori, but basically it just means acting out whatever the sentence is. So here's one where I just wrote it. The bat sat on a cat. I don't have the picture for that. The rat sat. So you get the idea. Not complicated. So if you don't have an Explode the Code comes in many different books. I think there are 8 different books, and you'd want to look to see what the skills are in any given book. In the first book, you have short A with a few letters, and then it's short A and I, and all of it is short vowels, all the way up through short O. Then in book 2, you have additional, and I don't have it right here, you have additional short vowels. But for instance, when you go all the way up to book 4, you have compound words, endings. They have syllable division pages in here. So if you're working with a child, like particularly in a tutoring situation, and you want to give the parents at home work to do, like I have a brand new client who I look at me breathe heavily because my plate is so full. I have a mother who begged me to take her child. So her child is severely dyslexic and he's 8 and he's reading at a CVC level. At some point, I'm going to give her this book because this is something that she can do at home with them that will benefit him. I'm going to train his teacher, and his teacher is going to work with Explode the Code. And there's 1, and then there's 1.5, so that there's additional work at the exact same level with 1 step up in the difficulty level. But I encourage you to explore these resources. I haven't pushed these books a lot in previous trainings. But what I've found is in talking and training and talking and coaching with teachers on the back end, that these books would be incredibly valuable to them to give them structure for work to be done at home with these skills that really are directly correlated to the work that is in our book. Now, the reason you hear me being a little bit hesitant about being like, these completely match, is because the sequence of instruction is a little bit different. So we introduced vowel consonant E very early on in the brain-friendly reading work because this work is intended to be one that can be used to bring older struggling readers up to grade level fluency quickly. And one of the things that older struggling readers need to make sure that they have in their bank early on is vowel consonant E. If you're working with kindergartners, you wouldn't necessarily introduce open syllable and vowel consonant E this early in the instruction. But we don't have the kindergarten program completely written up at this point in order to be able to publish it. So these Explode the Code books are fabulous. Don't confuse them with the Beyond the Code. Those are a whole different ballgame, but stick with the Explode the Code. I would encourage you to buy a couple and explore how you can use this as a resource to supplement the work that you're doing.